Hello, everybody. Welcome. I think we're good here. Oh, hey, Daryl. Vivi. I'm just going to take a moment and have a look at everybody arriving into the virtual studio. I'm sorry if I don't know everyone's handle to say hi, but I am wishing you all a big hello and hoping you're all healthy and well. Amazing. So lots of people logging on. As you have these first few moments or even minutes before we get started, you might want to just make sure that your place is set up. So maybe just a clear space. If you have a mat is great, but if you don't, it's okay as well. You can use a towel or just making sure that you have the space available to move a little bit today. And then, hey, Prasna. And then hi, everybody. Sada. If you have any props as well that you want to use, so a yoga block, you could use a cushion instead, like a throw pillow or something like that. And then a strap, or even sometimes I like to use a stretchy sock. It's a great kind of makeshift prop if you need that as well. And so my name is Lindsay. I'm not sure if I've met everyone who seems to be signing in right now, but it is so nice to have you virtually today for class. So we have about an hour flow. It won't be completely an hour because we have a few minutes of technical stuff and getting set up, but it'll be close to a 50-minute class, and we'll be flowing, and then just a preparatory, almost for beginners kind of meditation at the end, just 3 or 4 minutes together. Enough to kind of taste what that feels like, and you can even stay on after and continue your meditation. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. All right. So we have lots of people still coming, still signing in, but hey, Jen. But I don't want to wait too long. So we will get started, and I know people will join once they're able. So let's get going. Just give me a moment to turn my camera around and set this up. 1 sec. Pardon my thumb. And then we'll go here. Great. Oh, we'll go. All right, I think that looks good. Hello. So you can see my space that I've arranged for myself here. I'm on carpet now in my current location, so I have a few mats actually on top of each other. It might make my stability a little challenging, so we'll see. But you can see, just makeshift, whatever you have. I have a block as well, but a cushion would do just fine. Also, if you need something to sit up on. And so again, my name is Lindsay, and because this is virtual, there isn't sort of that one-to-one personal interaction. If you have any questions after we do class together today, you can find me on Instagram. Please feel free to DM me with any questions or anything like that you might have after class, and we can connect more one-on-one that way. So it's yoga_Linds, LYNDS, but you can find me on the IM Instagram as well and track me that way. So we'll begin. If it feels okay, you're gonna come to sitting on your shins. And then placing your hands just below the navel center. And then you'll notice right away if this is comfortable. And this is where if you wanted to sit on a block, you could, or if you wanted to sit on a pillow, you could as well. And you can close your eyes here. Perhaps just gently rocking a little forward and back and side to side to feel the centeredness of your seat, anchoring down into the heels. All right, so from this root right from your base of Muladhara chakra, can we begin to lengthen up the whole of our spine through to the crown of the head. So feeling this elongation of the spine, creating space for the breath. And through the nose, we're beginning to connect with that flow of our breathing, our inhale and our exhale. And can you feel that this is first a belly breath? So breathing into the space under your hands. And we're continuing our theme today, this idea of connecting to the element of water, Jal in Sanskrit. And the element of water is also associated with Svadhisthana chakra, the second of the chakras, starting from the base. And so the invitation is to invite in the characteristic associated, one of the characteristics associated with this energy center, with Svadhisthana, with the element water, and that is creativity, the flow of creativity. So in a time when perhaps we're sitting at home, we're not doing our normal routine, things are different. What could the opportunity be to bring forth something different? Some kind of creative endeavor or growth, albeit small, be it large. And so let's feel the energy under the hands, envisioning perhaps even the glowing color of orange. That's the color associated with this energy center. And we'll use our practice as a way to transform this energy, to bring it into fruition, to see what happens. Final few breaths here now, allowing the wave of inhale and exhale to become a little more equal in length, in depth, and finding a pace of breathing that is calm and consistent. And joining the palms together at the heart, just take a moment to bow the forehead down. Committing to our time together today, to this practice as a means to transform. Be creative. Be curious. See what arises. Open the eyes. All right. We're going to come forward, and as you come forward, you can simply cross at your ankles and come all the way to sitting down. Kick your legs forward. Get a nice tall spine. You're going to lean back just a little. As you bend the right knee, open the right hip and place a flexed right foot just above your left knee. And then bend the left knee. You're leaning back a little bit here. However, the spine is still lifted. And then we're going to rock a little bit from side to side. So as we rock, we'll feel a gentle massage right at the sacrum. And so the element water associated with Svadhisthana, that sacral chakra, physically it's around that space of the sacrum. So can we massage it out here a little bit? Start to awaken physically our bodies. And then pausing for a moment, send the right knee away. You might drag your left heel a little closer. Continue to lift up through the crown of the head, flexing that right foot and breathing into the right hip. And any time when an asana is static or still, you can feel free to close the eyes. Just allow yourself to connect, body and breath. One more cycle. As you open the eyes, lean back to release the left leg straight, right leg forward, give a little shake, and then we'll simply switch. Bend the left knee. Open the hip and place the flexed left foot just above the right knee. Send the left knee away a bit, and then bend the right knee. You might notice this hip feels slightly different. So whatever depth feels good on this side, and then very gentle, rocking from side to side. Keep the breath flowing. to center. As you pause, you'll see maybe you want to drag that right foot a little closer. Keep flexing left foot as you send the right knee away. Lift up through the crown. And with each exhale, maybe you're shortening the distance just a little between the rib cage and the front right thigh. Opening the eyes, lean back a bit, kick the right leg out, release, and give a little shake. Nice. Crossing the ankles, and then come forward onto your hands and your knees. And then sit back just for a moment. Let's interlace the fingers, give a little juice to the wrists, circling around your laced fingers and just grooving into the wrist joints, going in both directions. And let it go, hands to the ground. Lift your feet up off the floor and then roll the ankles, just the same. A couple times in one direction and then a couple of times in the other direction. Then you lean back, tuck the toes under at about hips width apart. Look towards the hands about shoulders width, and then pressing through the whole of your palm, all 10 fingers. Start to lift your knees up off the floor, send the hips up and back. And then if you need to, walk your feet back any amount. Find a bent knee, downward facing dog. Can you balance out the energy here so that the hands and the arms are strong, but also the hips are drawing up and back, and the heels are energetically pressing down. Spread and lift your toes, place them back to the earth. And then let's get a little juicy here. Let's inhale, come forward, rounding the back, pass through plank, starting to straighten out, becoming a bit level, and then let your hips drop any amount, lift your heart between the arms. And then exhale, chin to chest, lift up through your navel center, ripple all the way back. Heels maybe get a little closer, maybe knees get a little more straight. And then keep going like that, waving. It's a little bit like your cat-cow, but passing through plank and a version of upward facing dog with the toes tucked under. That was 2. Can we go 2 more times on your own? Connecting this fluid movement with the wave of your breath. And the last time, really descend your heels, although it doesn't matter if they're actually touching the ground or not. Just having that energy there, sending the heels down, finding a balanced downward facing dog. And then let's inhale, float the right leg up. Bend your knee, open the hip, and let's start to do big circles, like you were drawing circles with your right knee. 2 times in one direction, and 2 times in the other direction. Knee comes back to facing forward center. Step to the right hand, back knee down. And then you can point the back toe. Have your left fingertips just a little forward of your right toes. And then we're going to inhale the right arm up, twisting through the rib cage. Look up toward the right hand. And then exhale, thread the right arm under the left. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Exhale, thread under. One more time. Reach it up, look up, and then release. Right hand to the floor. Simply tuck back toes under and step to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Open the hip and bend the knee. Start to make those circles. Twice in one direction, twice in the other direction. Finishing with the knee facing forwards, and then stepping to the left hand, right knee down. Point the back toe. Right fingertips just a little bit beyond the left toes. And then we'll inhale, left arm up. Come through, thread left arm under right. Find the twist through your upper back. And then all the way, look up. One more time. Thread it under. And then all the way up. Releasing, Left hand down like we did before. Tuck the right toes under. Downward facing dog. Inhale, soften the knees and look forward. Take a few steps, as many as you need to get to the front of your mat. And we'll take our feet about hips width apart. We'll bend our knees until our belly comes almost to our thighs, like they were grazing or even touching, with fingertips to floor. And then inhale, look a little forward. Lift through your sternum, that's your breastbone, like that was leading the way. And then as you exhale, move towards straightening the legs and let the head go. It doesn't matter if the knees are fully straight, but they're moving more towards straight each time, because we're going to bend the knees again. Leading with the sternum, gaze a little bit beyond the top edge of your space. And then exhale, moving towards straight legs, we fold and let the head go. One more time. Inhale, bend the knees, looking forward, opening up, collarbones wide and spacious. Exhale, fold, maybe this time the legs are the straightest yet. And then let's release the fingertips from the floor towards the elbows. And holding the elbows, let the head go. Hang out for a nice deep breath. And then switch the clasp so the other forearm comes forward. Let the head go still. Inhale and exhale very deeply here. Into the sides of the ribs. Into the back of the rib cage. And then hands down. Find the energy of the feet anchoring into the earth. Let the legs become turned on, alive. And then feel that energy travel to the low back. We're going to start to roll up the spine with the torso, the arms, and the head. Very heavy. This is so slow. Feel the stacking, one vertebra on top of the other. At some point, the chin will become level. Lift up through the crown of the head, full elongation of the spine, and then let's reverse it out by reaching the arms up. Lift the chest just a touch. And then exhale, gather all of that energy back to the heart center. And then stepping right to the very front of your space. The feet can come fairly close together, toes facing forward. Let's place our hands one more time at the place just below the navel center. Close the eyes. Breathe into the hands. Feel the wave of your breath. Let's be creative. Let's be curious and see what opportunity is before us. Opening the eyes. So the energy of this chakra, of this element, it's feminine and it's lunar. So we have some Chandra Namaskars, some moon salutations today. Let's inhale, circle the arms around as if the circumference of the moon. Tap the hands, and then exhale, open the arms, come all the way forward and let the head go. Inhale, bend your knees a little. Look forward, leading with the sternum like we did before. And then as you exhale, lunge the right foot back. Point the toe, and inhale, come all the way up. As you reach up, you're going to take your right wrist, and then exhale, tip over to the left side. Maybe look up and under the right arm. And then inhale back through center. Circle through the arms, through the shoulders as you come through. Plant the hands, and then downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees down, point your toes and sit back to your heels. Look a little forward. We're striking cobra. We're pulling ourselves across the floor, hovering our chin, hovering our chest, and then landing in cobra. Chest, shoulders, and head lifted. Exhale, press back. Use your arm strength through table. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. 2 or so breaths to reset each time. Inhale, float the right leg up. Step towards the right thumb, left knee down, point the toe. Inhale, circle the arms around, reach up, touch the palms, and then change your mind. Circle through the shoulders. Left toes tuck under. We're coming right into a forward fold as we exhale. Inhale as you rise up, lift from the back body, circle around, touch the palms. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. We go again. Inhale, circle around. Exhale, opening the arms, folding forward, head down. Inhale, bending your knees a touch, leading with the sternum. Look a little forward. Exhale as you release, step the left foot back. Left knee down, point the toe. Inhale, circle the arms up. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, tip over to the right side. Inhale through center. Circle the arms around. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, sit all the way back towards your heels and then lift your gaze to look to the front of your space and then drag yourself, striking cobra, slither to Bhujangasana. Exhale, push up through table, tuck toes, downward facing dog. We have 2 cycles. Calm it down. Inhale, left leg up. Inhale, step to the left. Right knee down, point the toe. Reach the arms around. Inhale, touch the palms. Exhale, circling through. Tuck left toes, right toes under. Inhale to your flat back, chest reaching forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand down, circle around, reach up. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. Inhale, reach around, look up. Exhale, opening, come all the way forward. Inhale, towards a flat back. Exhale, lunge the right foot back. Touch the knee, reach the arms around. Grabbing left wrist, inhale, reach up. Exhale, tip over, this time to the right side. Inhale, back up. Circle the arms, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, sit all the way back to the heels. Inhale, striking cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step towards the right thumb. Left knee down, point the toe. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, tuck back toes. Inhale, lengthening the sternum forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle around as you rise up, reach up. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. Last one like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open. Inhale, half. Exhale, left foot back. Drop the knee, point the toe. Inhale, circle around, this time grab a right wrist, reach up, tip over to the left side. Inhale, come back up, moving through the shoulders, downward facing dog. Flowing forward, ripple to plank. Exhale, sit back towards the heels, looking forward. Inhale, striking cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So in a fluid practice like this, feel free to move a little bit, to make any kinds of adjustments or to flow a little bit in a way that is creative or that speaks to you, your body, your breath, your mind in this moment. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step to the left thumb. Right knee down, point the toe. Inhale, circle around. Exhale, change your mind. Tuck the right toes under. Inhale, lengthening forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach around, rise up. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. Take a moment here. We're going to reset with our feet totally together. Hands by the sides. Inhale, bend the knees. Sit back as if into a chair. And then reach the arms around, join the palms, Utkatasana. Let's take the hands to the heart. Inhale a little bit of length through the spine, and as you exhale, we're twisting to the right. Hook the left elbow to the outer right knee. Looking down, inhale, crown of the head reaches beyond the toes. Exhale, pressing the palms and opening the chest, gazing over the right shoulder. One more breath. Look down, start to unwind. Inhale, reach arms up. One more time, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward, head down. Inhale, come halfway. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Let's step back this first one to plank. Drop the knees down. Keep the tailbone heavy towards the backs of the knees. Lift your gaze just a touch. And then let's lower with control. Hips and chest touch down at the same time. Inhale, point the toes, back to cobra. Exhale through table. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Turn the left heel in. Step the right foot forward. Both legs are strong, feet grounded. As you rise up, warrior one. Land the palms right away. First, connect to the foundation of your posture. The feet, balancing weight evenly, inner back arch, lifting just a touch. One more breath. And then hands to the floor. This will be different. Step back to plank. This is an option number 2. Without dropping the knees, tip a little forward. We're going to lower about halfway, elbows about 90 degrees. Flip the tops of the feet to the floor, pressing through tops of feet. Draw the sternum through the gateway of the arms and look just up under the eyelashes. One more breath. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then lifting from your navel center, look back, go up and over the toes. Downward facing dog. Turn the right heel in. Step the left foot forward, rising up, Virabhadrasana, warrior one on the other side. We have our feet now. Let's see if we can move the shoulders towards stacking over the hips. Let's press the palms and gaze to the thumbs. Let's engage drishti, gazing practice with the eyes. See what happens to the mind. When the eyes are steady, the mind will follow. Nice, hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Now your choice, from the knees or with knees lifted, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Or downward facing hero for extra rest if you need it. Sitting back on the heels. It's like child's pose with the arms reaching forward and the forehead down. If you need that version, please take it. And again, as we pause here, if there's any little juicy movements that you want to make, maybe at some point you ripple forward and back, plank and downward facing dog from side to side, whatever feels good in the body. Last breath here. Start to bend the knees on empty. You're looking forward. You can give a little hop or a step back to the front of your mat, feet together. Inhale, leading with the sternum for length. Exhale, fold. Let the head go. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back. Utkatasana. Exhale to stand. Samastitihi. We go again. Feet are together. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana, hold. Get low, heavy in the hips. Inhale. Exhale, this time we're twisting to the left. Hook the right elbow to the outer left knee. Look down. Inhale, crown of the head is reaching beyond the toes. And then as we press the palms, the mid-chest twists and the gaze turns up and over the left shoulder. Breathe. Last cycle. Start to unwind. Inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway or leading with the sternum to create length. Exhale, either hop or step back, your version of chaturanga. Inhale, your version of upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step the right foot forward to rise, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. I'm taking control myself now of turning that off. From downward facing dog. Maybe one more juicy breath. Start to bend your knees and look forward. Give a little hop or step to the front. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, step back, Utkatasana. Exhale to stand, Samasthiti. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, head down. Inhale, bend the knees this time, lift your heels. We're gonna open the inner thighs and take the hands forward at about shoulders width apart. Hug the inner elbows toward one another, and then ride the knees as high up as you can get towards the outer upper underarms. Squeeze the inner knees to the outer shoulders, and then continue with your chaturanga arms. Maybe start to tip weight into the hands. It might just be that weight is getting lighter in the toes, and you practice maybe lifting one toe at a time here in Bakasana. Some of you may be lifting both toes up, holding here, squeezing the heels towards your seat. Wherever you are, one more breath, and then hop or step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's pause here. Inhale the right leg up. We're going to open the hip one more time, but this time keep the right leg straight. Start to move towards as if you could stack right hip on top of left, and at the same time square your shoulders forward so that we're isolating this into the right hip. One more breath. And then start to turn those right toes back towards the floor, and then step to the right thumb. Pivot the back foot down, and let's windmill up to warrior two. So you might have to readjust your feet if you do it all. It's about heel to arch. Arms extend out. Your chest is facing the side of your mat. And then your gaze is your right middle fingertip. Let's hold this here, this gaze. So the body has arrived. The breath is moving. And now by steadying the eyes, we're really beginning to train the brain, to train the mind, to slow down. Let's straighten the front leg. Taking a reverse, left palm down, right arm reaches all the way back. Breathe into the right side. And then keeping both legs straight, come up and over that front thigh. Right fingertips drop down, left fingertips drop up. But let's do that 2 more times. Stand down through the feet, reach back with the right arm, breathe into the right side, and then tucking right hip under, come back into triangle. 1 more time, reverse it back, breathe in. And then this time we'll tuck the right hip under. We're ready to stay here, Utthita Trikonasana. Crown of the head is pointing out beyond those front toes. Opening the shoulders, stacking if you can, one on top of the other. And continue to lengthen both sides of your rib cage. 1 more breath. And then you're going to bend the front knee as you come up. Take a reverse, and then we're going to flow right into Ardha Chandrasana. So looking down, right fingertips come somewhere beyond the front toes. You're going to balance into the right foot and lift the left leg up off the ground. If you need more steadiness, left fingertips can also come down. Your heels are aligned in space. Left toes face the side of the room wherever you are, and then maybe left hand comes to left hip. Maybe you're starting to extend the left arm up, taking your drishti with you, that gaze to left thumb. Look down. Take 1,000,000 years to step back, reverse your warrior, And then let's flow through our vinyasa. Stepping back to plank and lowering chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg up, opening the hip, but keeping that left leg straight. Moving towards as if you could stack your hips and at the same time square your chest toward the earth. And then start to turn the left toes back towards the floor. Step between the hands, pivot the back foot down and land in Virabhadrasana on the other side. Lift up through the crown. Relax all the muscles in the face, the jaw, let it go. And then we're going to straighten the front leg. We're going to reverse left arm this time. Up and back. And then as you come forward, tuck the left hip under, reach out, go long through the left side, and then left arm down, right arm up. Look up. Stand down through the feet, do another reverse. Big breath into left side and then Utthita Trikonasana, look up. Last time, reach it back. Under with that left hip crease, this time we stay. Straighten out the body, over that front leg. Reach the right fingertips up toward the sky and take the gaze with. One more breath. Look down. Bending the front knee as you come up. One more reverse inhale. Exhale either straight back to downward dog for an extra breath or two, or optional vinyasa. From downward facing dog, a collective breath. And then let's all walk our hands back towards our feet. Inhale, fingertips to shins or fingertips on the floor. Lead with your sternum, create length in the spine, flatten out the back. And then exhale, we're gonna fold. One more time, inhale, lengthening, leading with the sternum. Exhale as you fold this time, wrap your forearms to the backs of your calves and let the head go. You can bend your knees, of course, here. If the backs of the thighs are very tight, you could even use the breath and a few times bend and extend. That's always nice. And can we really let the weight of the head go here? As the head hangs heavy, the shoulders draw away from the earlobes. Feel the space and find the breath. And then lift your gaze. Inhale, fingertips to the floor, to the shins, about halfway. Exhale, hands onto the hips. And then inhale with a nice flat back, come all the way to stand. And then I'm going to face you guys. We're going to come into one-legged balancing. So starting with the feet together. I'll do this both ways, first facing and then side on. We're going to balance into the sole of the left foot, and we're going to float the right heel. And then turning the right knee just on a little bit of a diagonal, slide a flexed right foot above the left knee. And then bend the left knee, start to sit back. It's almost like Utkatasana, but of course this right foot is flexing and the right hip is opening. And then you're going to stay like this. You're going to hinge back through your hip creases, sit low, and then maybe take the arms out. Some of you will stay exactly like this. We've been here before, a similar shape to open, in this case, the right hip. Others of us may be coming forward with length, taking the palms together and holding like this in a little bit of a forward fold. Others of us might come even still, hands to the floor, Hooking the right toes to the upper outer left arm. Really bending the left knee and then balancing that right shin to the upper right shelf of your arm. It's like chaturanga arms as the left heel lifts up off the floor. Wherever you are, if you can, another breath or so. And then we'll all rise up. Don't give up. Kick it out. Reach up through the arms. And then let it go. Give it a little shake. Nice. Feet together. I'll go sideways this time in case anyone wants to see a different view of this arm balance. Feet together. Balancing in the right foot. Left heel lifts. A little bit of a diagonal with the left knee to open the left hip. Flex left foot. Rise up the front of the right leg. Once it's above the knee, bend the right knee. Sit back like Utkatasana. Keep the left foot flexing. Arms out. Sternum lifted. Focused gaze. Bring the body, breath, and mind into this. All three. Hands to heart, maybe. Maybe leaning a little forward. Maybe right heel lifts as the hands come to the ground. And then you kind of hook your upper right arm with your left toes. Place your left shin on the shelf of your upper left arm. And with chaturanga arms, you're balancing, squeezing that right heel towards the right seat. Wherever you are, if you can muster 1 to 2 more breaths. And then go rising up. Kick it out, reach up, big breath. And then let it all go. You're at the back of your mat, maybe a little shake out. Inhale, reach arms up, feet hips width apart. Exhale as you fold, walk the hands back to the front of your mat. Downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa for anyone that would like to take it, there's time. And then inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, come forward, that right knee somewhere behind the right wrist. Point the right toe, drop the left knee. Look forward, but then tuck your back left toes and kind of scoot the left leg back a little bit. Point the back toe. No pressure whatsoever on that right knee. Right toes might be somewhere down toward, pointing towards your left hip flexor. Some of you may have that front shin more towards parallel to the front of your mat, depending on how this right hip is feeling. And then we'll all come into king pigeon, up onto the fingertips. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, folding forward. And then resting your head, it could be on a pillow of your fists or your forearms, head down. If this is uncomfortable for the right knee, you could also do this lying on the back, which I'll demonstrate now. Flexed right foot just above the left knee and then drawing the left thigh in. That would be your supine version lying on your back. Wherever you are, allow the body to still here, but keep the breath moving. If the eyes are closed, you could take an internal drishti or gaze, perhaps back down into that earth element, chakra, svadhisthana, envisioning the beautiful glow of orange, the glow of your creativity, that potential creativity to make the most of wherever you are right now, and maybe more than the most, maybe it's the birth of a brand new idea, a new way of doing things. It might be little, it might be small, but it could also be big, grand. I've seen a lot of posts that say necessity is the mother of invention, and it's so true. And though these times are no doubt hard, they're tough and they can be challenging. We won't say they aren't, because they definitely are and they can be, but in this challenge there's also opportunity for change, for growth. Let's tap into that. And let's take the hands to the floor. About shoulders width apart again. Tuck the back toes under. Take some weight into the hands first. And then lift up and back. Downward facing dog. And then right away, inhale, left leg up. The left knee comes behind the left wrist. Point the left toes towards the right hip flexor. And then shimmy the back right toes further back so you feel the stretch. Whatever you need to do to adjust on this side. The hips are especially noticeably different sometimes in openness. So whatever you need to do, whatever you need to adjust. And then let's inhale first, find some length and space. Lift up through the sternum. And then exhale, continue to make room as you fold forward and settle into this side. And this is a truly transformational practice. Any of you who've been practicing for any amount of time, we know that something happens when we get on our mat, when we move our body, unite with breath, calm the mind, something happens. Something shifts. And we can use that power. We can harness that power of creation. And what might that look like for you? Harnessing your inner power towards something. Your wildest imagination. What would that look like? Lift the gaze. Hands plant one more time. Tuck the back toes under. Take some weight into the hands first to release any tension in that left knee, and then lift up and back. Downward facing dog. For a moment here, let's perhaps just sway the hips gently from side to side. Let that work settle. And then optional vinyas coming through. And then meeting back. In downward facing dog, we'll all come onto the knees, cross the ankles, and sit back between the heels. Kick the legs forward, and I'm going to face you guys. From here, we're going to bend both knees. Let the inner knees face up toward the ceiling, and the outer knees just kind of drop or heavy toward the earth. And then for this one, we'll slide our heels slightly forward. So it's almost like a wide diamond shape. Right from the base of the seat. It's like our seat is like our feet in seated postures. We want to heavy and anchor there first. Inhale, find the fullest length of our spine. And then hinging from the hips, start to come forward with awesome length. You'll hit a spot where you can't go forward anymore. That's your edge point. And then just soften into this. You can let the head go. Feel free to round the back a little here, and know that you can round the back but still have the shoulders softening away from the ears to create space. If you had a block, you could slide it under the forehead here. It's a really nice time to close the eyes again. Steady focus, internal drishti, perhaps back into that glowing orange of Svadhisthana. And chakra means it's a wheel, it's a spinning wheel of energy. You can imagine that spinning perfectly freely and then shining out, glowing orange all around, shining out that potential creativity. It's in all of us, every single one of us. And then lift your gaze, come on up. Whew. Extend the legs totally out. It doesn't have to be a very, very wide V. It might be a little more narrow than what mine is. We'll flex the toes toward the ceiling. You could also bend your knees a little bit here if the backs of the legs, if the thighs are a little tight, the hamstrings. We'll inhale, always go up first. Create that length. And then exhale, toes continue to face up toward the ceiling, but we hinge forward from the hips. Any amount. For some of us, it might literally be an inch. And if that's the case, the fingertips can come tenting behind, just a little tip. Others of us may be able to tilt quite a bit more forward. Wherever you are, stay and breathe. Lift the gaze and come all the way back up. Draw the heels kind of close towards you, and then maybe walk your seat a little bit closer even. Shorten the distance, though the heels are close enough that you can take your peace sign fingers, slide between your first and second toe, wrap around the big toe, and the thumb pads connect with your first two finger pads, Kubera Mudra. It's an energy lock. And from here, just tipping back slight, balancing with the heels, maybe floating an inch or so up off the ground. That would be your more mild version, still challenging. A little more medium, maybe the legs are beginning to straighten. You could even come halfway. Balancing. Lift the sternum, try not to round the back. And then maybe spiciest, legs could be straight. You're still lifting through the breastbone, through the sternum. And now if the legs are straight, we'll bend our knees, the bent knee version, and let the inner thighs come together, land Navasana. This is our boat pose. Really focusing here on a lift via the strength of the core, shortening the distance between the rib cage and the front thighs. Palms up. And then take it out of the face. Relax the jaw. Let it go. One more breath. Let's start to low boat. So as the legs extend, the heels and the back body kind of hover, hold. If there's a little tremble, that's a good thing. It might not feel like it, but it's a good thing. We're building strength, and then heels down. Allow yourself to roll out all the way onto your back. And from here, we'll bend the knees. Grazing the heels with your fingertips. Just get a sense of that distance. It's an about distance, so whatever adjustments you need to make, toes facing forward. Send energy down through the feet, and then start to tilt the hips up. Lifting the hips up off the ground, and at the same time, lifting the arms up off the floor. You're waving, lifting the hips. The arms go all the way back, and as the back of the hands touch down, we exhale, ripple all the way back down to the earth. So we're rolling the spine. Tilt the hips up, press down through the feet, and then one vertebra at a time until we lift to the space just between the shoulder blades. The hands will touch the floor, and then exhale, roll down again. This time, hands stay down, just lifting the hips up off the floor. Some of you may stay like this. Others may want to rock the shoulders underneath and interlace the fingers. Head is relaxed, jaw is soft. You're very welcome here to go for it if you practice full wheel. We've done a ton of chest opening work, so you're probably in a good space to give it a go if you want. We'll still have one more back bend variation. One more breath here though. Release the hands, uncurl the shoulders, roll down. Take a breath, just don't go anywhere. Last time. I'll cue Urdhva Dhanurasana full wheel. If you liked one of the first two versions, go ahead. So we're starting to lift the hips, just a little off the floor. Reach the arms back. Finger pads just in front of the shoulder heads, point the elbows up toward the ceiling. Some of us may want to lift the heels up off the floor for a little extra space, and then pressing down through the feet, maybe come up onto the crown of the head. Make sure the inner elbows are still moving toward one another, and then maybe pressing the arms to straight, heels still lifted. Some of you a few times might want to bend the elbows, touch the head lightly, and then straighten. To come into this, to juicy through the shoulders, and through the upper back. At some point, arms might stay straight, heels might go down. Wherever you are, stay. Another breath, if you can muster it. And for anyone out there in full wheel, chin to chest, back of the head comes down. Let's all roll out and take happy baby as our counter pose. So bending the knees in towards the underarms, holding either under the knees or the ankles or the outer edges of the feet, and then let's rock a little that sacral area of the low back. Pause. Nice, legs up. We'll just roll the wrists and ankles a couple of times. Let's get the circulation going down into the core, down into the visceral organs by shaking vigorously the arms and the legs. Just really, really shake. Shake the arms, shake the legs. Let the wrists and the ankles go as fast as you can. And then pause. Let the tingling sensation kind of take over. And then bend the knees in toward the chest. Shoulders up off the floor. Bring the thighs close towards you. Forehead squeezes toward the knees. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then let it all go. Shavasana. And Shavasana is where we'll stay, but only for a few breaths, because we're going to end this class in seated meditation. And it's only a minute or two we get together to meditate, but that's all it really takes to start a practice, a meditation practice, just a minute or two. And it all starts here in Shavasana, cultivating that stillness. And your inner vision might already be dropping back down into Svadhisthana, into the element of water that sits just in front of the sacrum, just below the navel center. Spinning wheel of creativity, shining out. Can you hold that inner vision and very quietly, slowly take the legs together, bend the knees, roll to one side, and press yourself up nice and slow. Come to your favorite seated shape. Just a minute or so. And I say a minute, but anyone can stay and continue to hold this space after our time ends together this evening. You can stay here, keep meditating. Relax the hands into the lap. The spine continues to remain tall. Inner vision still locked into that spinning wheel. Stay where you are, or join the hands together at the heart. The mantra for this particular energetic center is VAM, V-A-M, together. I invite you to join me, just like we would Om, but VAM, V-A-M. Inhale. VAM. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Peace.